Jana Gawin has been working in the hotel entertainment industry since 2013. Positivity is key in her work style, and she truly loves what she does. She has experienced massive growth by working abroad, both privately and professionally.
You have your little bag. I always had the feeling, and after every season, you took a little bit of culture with you in your little bag,
Culture, yeah.
Yeah. And now you're back in your home country, but still you have all the impressions of how other cultures are looking like.
I'm Dario de Dobbelare, and welcome to Ciao, Bye Bye, a show about living life abroad in the hotel entertainment sector. Here, we dive deep into what it is like living all over Europe, meeting thousands of people, pushing boundaries, and living life to the fullest. Today, episode 8, The Impact of Working Abroad. Our guest today comes all the way from Germany, Jana Gawin. So, Jana,
Yes.
First things first. Thank you for coming to the show today. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you.
It's my pleasure.
Well, you're welcome. Could you please introduce yourself? Who are you and where did you come from?
My name is Jana. I'm 30 years young. Let's say it like this, but just turned 30 this year. I'm from Germany. And I think these are the main facts, I would say. I have a dog, a small dog. Oh. My whole Proud, actually.
What dog do you have?
It's a miniature tackle.
Oh, it's
wired hair.
They're like is it like the long ones?
Yeah, the sausage dogs. A proper sausage dog with wired hair, exactly, in brown.
You can get him one of these hot dog costumes for your Christmas cards
this
year.
That's my plan. Actually, that's my plan. I'm searching for a Christmas costume and for a hot dog costume. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
You see, I have a lot of time at the moment. So, brought dog mom since 2020 due to Corona. It's a Corona baby, I have to say.
Oh, it's a Corona dog.
And before, I was a really cool entertainer and team leader and entertainment manager. Working around the world. Let's say it like this.
You've been a little bit all over the place.
All over, everywhere. A little bit everywhere.
What is your current job role? Are you still working in the entertainment industry?
Yes, but since 2 years, I'm back now in the head office in Germany. And my current job role is called TUI Blue for Two Entertainment Executive.
It's God, it's a really long title to remember.
It's exactly. It's a long title, but it sounds really important. I think the executive sounds sometimes like I am the chief of the whole company.
I would be scared of you when I see the executive is coming to the hotel.
It's not like this. Don't be scared.
No. What exactly is it that you do then? In of course, in a more normal world when there is no corona, what kind of things would you be doing for your job?
So normally I am responsible for all the operative parts in our hotels, what means I'm responsible for new concepts for the daytime and evening program. I'm thinking about new trends and what can we do. I'm speaking a lot with our hotel managers. I'm the person that is speaking a lot to our entertainment managers who are working around the world. If they have any trouble, any questions. I'm focusing a lot on the numbers, on the CSQs we say, about
on the scores.
If our guests are happy, exactly. If the guests are happy, if they enjoy the holiday, if they enjoy the daytime and evening program. Sometimes I have direct contact with the teams to see if they are happy, if they know what to do. And then normally I'm traveling a lot around to visit hotels, to do some trials around the world, to see how everything is working in the hotels. I would say this is my normal job.
Exactly. So it really sounds like you're, pre-corona, of course, you're always on the move. Like you're always in a new place, even if it's just to visit one of the destinations, to go to maybe a training, catch up with the teams, like you said. So I can imagine you're really on the plane a lot, living out of your suitcase, basically.
Yes. So I would say the airport in Hanover is one of my most favorite places. I spent a lot of time there in 2019.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I know many airports around the world. But also, to be fair, it was a nice switch because I told you 2 years ago I went back to Germany, and that was also the point where I worked a little bit more in the office and I had a little bit more private life. Let's say it like
Yeah.
this. So I would say the job is a perfect mix out of office work and administrative tasks, and then sometimes hotel visits. The training, I'm also the person that is mostly responsible with my boss basically for all the trainings, concept trainings and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, this is something I also always enjoyed working in entertainment. Like the trainings were always my highlight of the season. Even I think it's just it's really it's so cool to meet all these different people who are like in a similar position in life, because it's quite unusual to do these kind of trips, or like for going for work to a different country, staying there for a long time. Sometimes it's hard to find people outside of the job which whom you can talk about it and really go a little bit deeper than I go to let's say Mallorca for 6 months. It's quite hard to understand, and when you put like
Totally.
like a couple dozen people of the who go through this experience within the next couple of months for the first time, or can be the second time, it's really reassuring to find all these people and like boost each other's motivation up to go and rock for the next couple of months.
Yeah, I'm absolutely agreeing. It's so important for the spirit also, because like you said, I in all my seasons I found out that most of the time really, you can maybe say special people do the job, special open people, they are open-minded, but also really, some of them are really crazy, some are really open, they love to speak to people, and it's always such a brilliant atmosphere on the trainings. And I think it's also really, really important to understand the concepts and to understand the spirit kind of, and to get the spirit and have the feeling, okay, we are one big family. So
yeah, exactly.
But I also found out, because I saw the training from all positions. So when I was entertainer, when I was team leader, when I was entertainment delivery team manager, and so on. And then suddenly I was responsible to organize the training, and I found out it's really, really, really stressy.
Oh, I can imagine. There must be like hundreds of hours of planning going into this.
It's a lot of organization behind it, with so many people in one location, and have all the trainers at the right place and enough rooms for everything. And so, it's a really, really special time of the year.
The transfers, everything. Oh my God.
I mean, there's support from our training team and everything, but I think this is the time of the year where my whole department has the most work, basically.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you still enjoy the trainings as much, or are you just on the training like, oh, what's going to go wrong next, or what do I need to fix next?
No, to be fair, I still enjoy it. I love to be surrounded by people and to meet new characters and to see who will work in the future in our concept hotels and everything. I have much more in my head, because I have the whole time the feeling I love organization, and I always have the feeling everything needs to be really, really organized. But still in the evening, when you have then the evening entertainment, or you have maybe a farewell evening, you sit down and that was a good day actually. So
and I can imagine you have like you said, you have experienced the trainings in different ways, and I can imagine you also have seen people grow with not even just like in the company, but like as a person, like.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can imagine for you it's probably quite similar if you compare yourself to just before you did your first season, where you are now. You're like a completely different person, like way stronger, way more confident. Obviously, I didn't know you before you started, but this is usually like the story where you like find yourself and.
It's absolutely like this. Sometimes I need to smile because. Before I did the job as entertainer, I did my traineeship in Germany in the head office. And I was always a really, I would say, quiet person. I was never the one standing in front or anything. And my last department was the entertainment department. So in total, the traineeship in Germany is 2.5 years. And the last 6 months I spent in the concept department in Germany. And there I had a boss, and he was completely sure that entertainment is the right job for me. And he said like every day, Jana, you need to do this, you need to go. And I was every day like, I'm not sure if I
I'm
want
not
to
sure,
do this.
yeah.
I mean, I always found it really, really cool because I spent a lot of holidays with my parents in big hotels, and I was always impressed by the shows and by
Yeah.
the entertainers. And for me, they were also little stars. And I always was like, oh, yeah, maybe I want to do this
It
one
would
day.
be nice, but not for
Exactly,
me. Yeah.
but I was always like, oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, and then he tried to convince me. And in the end, anyway, I was ready with my traineeship and I hadn't got really a clue how to go on. And I thought like, okay, maybe I will try to do 3 months as kids entertainer. Yeah?
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
months
It's
was
a
my
perfect
first idea.
start. Yeah.
Perfect start. So, and then I think 1 month or 4 weeks before I should start, I wanted to go to Turkey, actually. That was my plan. So 4 weeks before I started, I got an email from the big boss of the department if we could have a talk. And I was like, yeah, we could have a talk. And in the end, I got directly offered a team leader position. So basically, they told me, okay, you will get kind of a boot camp. Yeah, we will send you to Gran Canaria. You will have 6 weeks to learn everything around entertainment, around how daytime is working, how evening is working, how kids club is working, and everything. Then we will bring you to the training for the team leaders.
Yeah.
And in this time, still the team leaders had to write something like an exam, basically. So you will write the exam and we will have a look how you do. And if everything is fine, you will be directly team leader. But then you need to stay the whole season. And I was like,
what?
But I want to be kids entertainer. That was the plan. I never did this job before.
Did you tell them this or did you think it? Okay.
No, I told them, and they also know it because they knew me from the whole time in the department. So I went home and I slept one night over it, and then I thought, okay, maybe it's faith, and maybe I should just try it.
Okay,
next day
that takes a lot of courage to do this.
Next day I said like, okay, I will try it, and then already I think in January, end of January, I flew over to Gran Canaria. Just me, my 2 suitcases. I hadn't got a clue what I'm doing. I hadn't got a clue what entertainment is. I was never working in a hotel, and I still remember I was standing at the airport. My boyfriend drove me to the airport, and I was crying like hell through the whole security control. I couldn't stop because I thought the whole time, like, oh my God, what I'm doing here. And I was really shy, and the first time away from home.
How old were you?
Yeah. And I was sitting in the plane next to an old man, because Canarian Islands are mostly old people.
There's a lot of old people.
And he was looking at me like, why are you crying? And I was like,
you're going on a holiday.
Because I'm flying now over there and I should work as entertainer. And he looked at me and he said like, oh yeah, as entertainer, I would also cry. And I was like, oh,
no.
Okay. Yeah. And then
That's
I arrived.
Really bad.
Yeah, and now it's funny, but then it was really bad actually. And then I arrived on Gran Canaria and I got picked up from my team leader in the reception. And he was also really confused, I would say, when I told him, no, I never did this job. I was never an entertainer. But I'm now in the jump program as team leader. And he was
I'm
like,
ready.
Okay. Yeah, and then I was in a different world. So for me, it was a complete different world because all the people I worked with, it was winter. And in winter, normally only the experienced entertainers are working.
Oh, you started in winter, yeah.
Yeah. So they all worked already a long time for the company. And they were all really, really entertaining characters, I need to say. So all really open, and they
really
stand
developed.
A lot of times on the stage already and everything. And then I was coming like the small gray mouse.
I will never... You're so sad.
Yeah, and this were the typical entertainment rooms. So first of all, I got shown the typical entertainment room. So it's now nearly 8 years ago,
Yeah.
It was like a hostel. So you shared a room with 2. The room was 10 square meters maybe, with a stock bed. So one was sleeping up, one was sleeping down.
I think they're called bunk beds in English.
Yeah, exactly. And and you had one big kitchen for everybody, and it was a different world. And then Gogo was there. Gogo was there by then. Yeah, because there were also some others in the jump program for team leader.
Okay.
So the next day was my first working day, and I directly jumped into ice cold water because he was there to train the shows and to train all we called it sponties by then. So all the spontaneous actions that were happening around the pool.
They're small kind of shows, more like comedy sketches, something like this you do in the swimming pool or next to the restaurant.
Yeah. So next day I found me already in an ABBA costume. standing around the pool.
This was your first day, right?
Yeah, performing Dancing Queen.
Oh my God.
And it was the whole time like, do guest contact, go to the guest, entertain the guest. And I was standing there in this ABBA suit like, okay, what am I doing here? What the hell am I doing here? And for all the others, it was so normal. And then directly the same day...
I mean, it's so strange because you're the only one who's like never done this before.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
The same day, I did also the entrance at the door in the ABBA costume. I hadn't got a clue what entrance is, you know, like this standing at the doors telling the guests, enjoy your meal. I was like, well, okay, I'm standing here, enjoy your meal. And then in the night, we had directly dance rehearsals. And the first dance I learned was Grease. Grease Mega Mix, I guess. And I was completely overwhelmed because I was just standing there like, okay, I was ABBA. I was already dancing at the pool. I was standing in front of the restaurant. Now I'm dancing Grease. And it's the first day. So
what's coming for the next?
Coming?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was my first day, and now you can remember how the next 5 weeks were looking like. So I think every day I was working nearly 13, 14, 15 hours minimum, because I also had to learn all the theory. Then all the coaches came around. By then we had one coach for sound and light, one dance coach, one kids coach, and they all came to visit us and to teach us even more knowledge.
Oh my God.
I had to learn everything about the kids club, so I was never working with kids before. And suddenly I was sitting there like, okay. Yeah, so really, really 5 funny weeks. And then I went back to the training, team leader training, like they told me, to Olsberg. It's in the Harz, so basically a really small hidden corner in Germany, somewhere in the nowhere. And there I met all the other team leaders, and they were all such a long time in the business already. And I arrived there and they were like, and you will be team leader now? And
like, of course they were surprised.
Team leader now?
But I did ABBA in Greece on my first day.
And then they had directly another brilliant moment was, by then it was really, there was a new show from Gogo, the Crime Dinner. So it was about
I don't think I've seen this one.
Yeah, it's a lot about acting and everything. And our exercise from Gogo was to learn all the whole script basically by heart, so that we are able to play every role on the training. You know, like it was that's my exercise. I will do it. So I learned it, and I learned it, and I learned it by heart. Even at the train, I was still sitting there. And we had our first session with Gogo on the first day of the training. And he was like, okay, who of you learned it by heart? And I was like, me. Yeah. I know it. Because I was, I was sure.
You wanted to show that you could do it. No,
not even this. But in the end, I thought, okay, it was our task. So it's a strange question, because why he is asking us who can do it, we should be able to do it. It was our task. Yeah, I was the only one putting my finger up in the air. Guess what? I was the lucky person that was playing the main character in the evening. Of course. I was so embarrassed because I don't know anybody. It was my first day on the team leader training, and I was the one playing the main character in this crime dinner. In the spotlight, Oh my God, it was such a horrible evening, and I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I think I was never so nervous in my whole life. And I was standing there in my costume, and everybody was looking at me, and But it was working out. So that's my start, my start in the big TUI world. And in the end, I did the training, I did the exam. I was even the best one in the exam, but was again really embarrassing. Yeah. And from this moment on, I was a little TUI nerd. I got the sticker. Then they sent me back to Gran Canaria. And I spent my first team leader season over there for 10 months then, actually.
Wow.
So from January
so you did
till
winter,
October.
summer, or something like that, or summer,
winter 1. Yeah,
it was
half winter, so winter 2, and then whole summer season till October, And it was a really, really challenging season because everything was new, but I had such a brilliant team, and so I met so many nice people, and in the end, I took so much home, and I think I grew every second day. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I can I can totally imagine. Maybe we should emphasize that it's very overwhelming, the first experiences you get, but somehow when you look back at it sounds really bad, but somehow it was a really nice experience. And at the same time, it's quite strange
But also, to be honest, I was nearly sitting. So the first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, I was sitting every single evening on my bed, thinking like, what are you doing here? And why are you doing this? And will you ever be happy with doing this? So it was really, and this is also the reason, like now in the end, when I was entertainment manager and stuff, I met so many people who did this job for the first time with 18, 19, 20, and they were the first time away from home. And so many people after 2 days, 3 days told me, Jana, I cannot do this. I want to go home.
It's very hard.
And I always told them, give yourself a little bit of time, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because every person needs some time to get used to all that. I mean, I can understand them completely.
To just let it sink in,
Exactly. I always have my first ABBA day in my in my mind. But yeah, sometimes you just need some time to come into it. And when I had to leave Gran Canaria after 10 months, I was so sad because this hotel was my home and this team was my family. And it was really breaking my heart. So in the end, it was the best decision ever to do this.
Yeah, I think like the first 1 or 2 seasons when you have to say goodbye at the end of the season, it's so hard. Like, okay, it's still sad when you do it later, but especially like the first times you have to say goodbye. It's not really the saying goodbye that's really sad. It's more like the day after when you are home and you're laying in your
and
bed
you recognize,
alone. Yeah, you're like, oh my God, it's really over, and we're probably never gonna be all together in the same place again. At least not with the same connection. It's very it's a very
difficult,
lonely feeling you get, which shows that that the connection you build in these few months is so strong with the people you're working with. I mean, you wake up together, you go to breakfast together, you work together, you take your break together. Even if you have a day off, it's together. Like everything is together. It's like you're married, but to the whole team, not to one person. It's like crazy.
And you know each other
marriage.
so well after this. After one season, you know everything. You know what the other is eating for breakfast. You know when the other is going to bed, if he's sleeping long or if he's an early bird. You know basically everything about the other person. So and I still, some of my best friends I met in my entertainment time because you are so close just. And
and did you see do you mean that you met your some of your best friends by working together with them in the same team?
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay, and did you see like a shift in personality when you stopped being in the same team? Because it's something I saw a few times, that when you visit somebody after the season, can be like 3 months later or something, it kind of feels a little bit like a different person. Not that you don't like each other anymore, but I'm not really sure where it comes from, but I think it's just the fact that when you're on season, you all try to find each other's levels, whereas when you are back at home, you already have your same safe environment. Like you already have your friends, your family, and I think when you go back after a season, even though the season changed you readjust yourself a little bit again to your environment, like to the person you were before you went on the season. Is this something you've seen as well?
Yeah, I see that. And also, it's sometimes strange because, for example, normally in one team you had at least 5 people, 8 people. And like you said, you were really, really close with each other. And after the season, you always promise each other, we will stay in contact and we will meet again and we will do this and we will always stay, like one team, one family. But in the end, it's sad, I still like all of them.
Oh, yes.
But I never kept contact with everybody from one team. There was always normally one person I'm still friends with and I still met.
Yeah.
And the others, when I saw a post on Facebook or Instagram or something, you write a comment, or sometimes you write a WhatsApp message, but you don't meet each other anymore.
No, and you wish them a really good life. Of course, it's not
exactly.
no hard feelings. I think one of the reasons is that you in this job you are constantly moving and constantly meeting all these. It's really like hundreds of new people all the time. So. I think there is literally no time to stay in touch, like to keep this strong connection that you had. I actually was talking about this to I'm not sure who it was, but to somebody who came on the show in a different episode, and I compared it a little bit like that life is like a train. So everybody's in the train. You're all going to the same direction because you're going towards the end of the season. But once the season is finished, some people get off your train. They just have a different destination. It's not that you want to say goodbye to them or you don't want to see them anymore, or that something happened, you don't want to get along. It's just they have a different destination, and in order for them to get to their destination, they need to take a different train. And maybe you will see them again, maybe not. But it's just your ways just don't go together.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also the good thing you always have in mind, I know if I would need something from these people, or if I would ask them for something, I'm sure they would help me. They would help me out and they would say, yeah, we can do this. So it's still, anyhow, you have a connection, but it's not a connection that you have contact on a weekly or monthly basis. But still, or if you see each other suddenly in the city, because, for example, it's also funny, some of the people I worked with really close for 3 months, 4 months, they live in my city or close to my city.
Really?
So I had it now 2 times, 3 times that suddenly I met a person in the city and I was like, whoa, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm living here. And then it's still a connection. You can still speak with each other, but before you never had the idea to meet up or anything. So
yeah, it just they jump on your train again, literally this time.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Actually, it's something I wanted to talk about with you, because when was it you did your first season again? Which year was it?
2013.
2013.
13, a long time ago already.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that long ago, but it's been a while. It's true. So something I wanted to bring up is, did you see many changes in the entertainment, like hotel entertainment in general? How things used to get done, or like can be the schedule, can be the structure of the team itself, things like this. When you compare it back to 2013 and 2020, what are like the big changes you've seen?
Sometimes I'm feeling like a grandma, but I think one of the biggest changes are the working times. So I told you already, when I was starting, it was normal to work 6 days a week and minimum 13, 14 hours, because you started in the morning with the morning meeting, then you had the daytime program. At lunchtime, you were practicing for shows and stuff like this. You were preparing the decoration for the evening and for the kids club. Then you had the afternoon program. Then you went for dinner. Then you changed and took a shower. Then you went for kids disco. Then you went to do the makeup and the costume for the shows. Then you had the show. Then you did some guest relation, and after you had practice again.
Yeah.
So,
and if you were lucky, you had no morning practice the next day.
Exactly. So that was a normal day, basically. That was every single day, 6 days a week. And day 7 was the only day off, and you really enjoyed it. I mean, we did a lot of excursions. We went to the beach and everything, but also as team, like you said already.
Yeah, you went all together.
And when I compare this now to the working times we have now in entertainment, you cannot compare it anymore. So... And
right now people are working. I think it's 8
normal
hours
8 hours.
per day,
Like a normal. And I mean, it's nothing bad. I understand that it is also important for some people to keep the working times and everything. But sometimes I have the feeling this is also changing a little bit the spirit, because when I was starting, even I was completely confused and everything was new for me. I hadn't got even the time to think about it. To think about it, or to think about if I want to go home, if I want to resign.
To think about the fact that you were working maybe too many hours. I
because
understand.
I was just busy with staying alive and with learning everything, and with all these nice and funny moments. I mean, I was laughing so much in all the seasons, and I met many funny, crazy people. And sure, we were complaining that we are tired, or that we would like to have another day off and everything. Sure, everybody's doing this. But I think now with less working hours, definitely you have more time to think about all this, and to think about, would there be another job for me where I would get more money? And that's also another thing. And when I was starting, nobody did this job to get rich.
No,
I
no.
always told you will never earn a lot of money with this job, but you earn a lot of experiences.
Yeah.
You earn a lot
A
of
lot
new
of life
persons,
experience.
a
Yeah.
lot of life experiences, and I don't want to miss all of this. So it was definitely the right experience. And then I also had so when I was starting, evening shows were much bigger, much more important.
You did more as well, more evening shows, like more
exactly.
complete dance shows
more,
or comedy shows, not just
what
game
also
shows and quizzes.
what also means that you have more to practice, basically. So more time, but also from the costumes, you had amazing costumes. You had to do a professional makeup, like you had all this professional makeup equipment in the backstage. And sometimes even if your makeup was not good enough, your team leader or manager just came and told you need to do it one more time. All girls had to have the same hairstyle. Yeah, you were not allowed to go on stage when one had a ponytail and one was wearing hairs open. So it was stricter basically, and also a little bit more professional, I would say. Like all the moderations, the presenters I met, they were amazing. So they were so good presenters, but it was also the time when it was not completely international. So I started in a German concept, basically.
German only.
German only. What was a little bit easier for us because it's much easier to do a presenting in your mother tongue. Without any. And it was also the time, no question, I was not so good in English. So I'm still not really good in English, but now I'm able to understand everything and to speak with you and everything. But when I started, I mean, in school, I was always... I mean, my grade was a 5, a 4 or something. I was always really, really sure I never want to do a job where I need to speak English. So I had my first season. Everything was new. First, they told me you have a German team. Then suddenly I got two people from Holland, two people from Belgium.
So it started to change a little bit.
3 from Spain. And suddenly a whole team from 10 English people from Thomas Cook. And the team leader of the English team was from Scotland. And in our first team meeting, I was not understanding a word. I was
it's very hard. It's so hard. I remember Scottish and the Irish accent, or like 2 accents. I don't know. I think I remember doing my first seasons like guest relations when I was just sitting at a table with them after a show. And I just remember nodding yes, pretending I knew what they were talking about, but I had no clue, no clue. You know, you can ask them, them like, oh, sorry, what was it you said? But you cannot have a full conversation asking them to repeat every single sentence 5 times or something, and still giving them a nice feeling about their holiday, because at the end of the day, that's the purpose of the conversations. Is like you need to learn this quick, because if you don't pick it up, there's no way you're gonna I think even mentally survive it, because you feel so stupid when you're just there. What should I say? Yes, no, and then you just nod.
And then the most awkward moment when it was a question and you just say yes. It was a question.
Or you start laughing.
And then what else changed? Basically the accommodations also, I told you already. So I was my first season was in a hostel where you had to share a room with 10 square meters. That's also changing. And I had the feeling that it was more, for the most people, it was more a proper job. So now the last years, I always had the feeling that people start to do to be an entertainer just for a little break, like work and travel or something. So they are ready with school, and then they thought, okay, for 3 months I want to do something funny. I will be entertainer, but after 3 months I need to do something good. You know, I need to study. Like
a real job,
And I always have the feeling they get some pressure from the parents or from the environment that tells them, okay, you did now your school, your A-level or whatever, so now you need to study.
Take a break and then start real life.
And when I started, it was more like a proper job. So still we had some people who only worked for 3 months or 4 months, but most of the people I met worked already for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years for the company. Yeah,
it's really, there's really a big shift in the I'm not sure if it is like you say, it's just the pressure coming from outside, or maybe it's a combination of also a reduced amount of working hours, which makes you think as in, okay, I am doing this now, and what do I want to do next? Whereas maybe when you were working 12 hours a day, 14 hours depending on the time of the season, and there was just no time maybe to make future plans, because I also remember I did my first kids club season in 2014, and then a full season in 2015. So I started a little bit later than you. But I remember the first few years, I wasn't really thinking or planning much more than the end of the season, and just make sure I can go back home and, I don't know, apply for the next season or something like this. It's something which never crossed my mind. So I don't think it's just the pressure coming from home. I think it was always there. I believe it's more that the reduced amount of working hours gives them more time to put things in perspective, but which also makes them lack experiences you would have had by going like all in and really living so present in this moment, and really holding this experience, because you only have a few months, and after these months it's gone, like forever. This experience you will never get again, because each season is so different, just depending on the location, the type of the hotel, and the team structure. It's like, even if you do a hotel twice in a row, it's going to be a completely different season.
Absolutely, yeah. And I also, so many entertainers told me, but I want to earn real money. To be fair, you have 60 years time to earn real money in your future life. And what is real money? In the end, you also earn money while doing entertainment, yeah? Like we said, you will not be rich, but in the end, you get paid your accommodation, you get paid your food, because you eat the whole time in the hotel. You spend most of the days off at the beach, because you're living in the nicest destinations around the world. Yes. You don't need to go for holiday, because you are in a holiday location. And now with the 8 hours of work, you have a lot of time to enjoy the destination. So the only things you spend your money for are food, when you go for dinner and restaurants or whatever. Or if you're a shopping queen like me, shopping. Yeah, because when I was in Spain, I got crazy about Stradivarius, Pull&Bear and whatever. So, but to be fair, you have a lot of options to save the money, to come home with a lot of money on your saving account. So,
but to be honest, I don't recommend saving your entertainment wage. I really think you should use it to explore.
You should live.
The destination, because it's such an amazing opportunity. Like, take the chance, take the island, or take the destination where you are, and really make sure you've seen every crack, you've met every different kind of person in the culture of the country, and really just explore. But if this is what you want to do, of course you can do it.
And feel like a local. I think that's also one of the nicest things to work abroad, that after 4 months you really feel like you're living there, and you are part of the island, of the country, or whatever, and you know suddenly things that only locals know, and that's the best way to experience the location.
Actually, do you still feel like a German? Or I don't know if you ever felt like it before, but would you say like I am? Would you call yourself a German, or what would you call yourself?
To be fair, I think I was never a proper German, so, and I'm also not looking like a German, so nobody is believing me. You are German. So no, it's a difficult question. So if somebody's asking me where are you from, I'm still saying Germany. Yeah, I'm German. So, but I would not say I'm the typical German person.
Yeah.
But I guess you also wouldn't say you are the typical Belgian person, or?
No, I don't really feel such a strong connection with Belgium. Of course, I'm happy living here, especially for things like healthcare and social security. We are very fortunate to live here. It's quite similar in Germany. But just with like the entity of Belgian people, I don't really feel this pride for my country, which is something you find more in like a Spanish country or something. They're very proud people, very proud of their country, their achievements. I don't know. I never really felt like it, like you said yourself. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really feel a strong connection with with
I
the
think that's
country.
also because when you did entertainment, or you have your little bag. I always had the feeling, and after every season, you took a little bit of culture with you in your little bag,
Was
you know.
was
And
culture? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And now you're back in your home country, but still you have all the impressions of how other cultures are looking like and what they do. And there are always some parts I really liked actually about their lifestyle, that they're really relaxed.
What's one of the things you've put in your bag?
Or I guess in Spain, I learned that they are much more relaxed about some stuff. So they are basically they are never in time, and that's sometimes really annoying. But on
Especially
the other
because of the
side,
German time.
yeah, exactly. But on
For the
the
people
other
listening,
side,
I was just joking to you earlier that you came at like the German 3 o'clock when we were supposed to start because you were
5 minutes
5 minutes
earlier.
early.
Yeah, but on the other side, it's also a little bit more relaxed when you're not hurrying and sitting in your car like, oh my God, now I'm in traffic jam and I just have 5 minutes left and I need to be there. And then in Germany, if I would be too late, I would say like, oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. And they're just like, yeah, sorry. Was not able to do it. So yeah. And also, for example, in Spain, I enjoyed it that they have really long nights. So you go really late for dinner, and then it's normal to sit outside, to speak to each other, to just enjoy the summer nights and everything. So
Yeah, but I think this also comes like the late nights. It's coming from the fact that it's quite hot. So if you would be eating dinner at like 6 o'clock, you would be sitting in like the burning sun. So I think it would be too hard to digest your food.
Yeah.
That's maybe where it comes from. But it's true. It gives you like a more relaxed way of living. I'm not sure if it's just being relaxed, but it's definitely more. More fluent. It's not like you have all these strict checkpoints. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. It's not like you have checkpoints through the day. It's more like a flow where you just go through your day. Yeah. One of the things I remember I had last summer in when I was working in Crete. We arrived there in, I believe it was the last week of April, probably. And so we were there obviously before the hotel opened, so we had to organize everything, get the stage ready, do some dance rehearsals, count the inventory, and we walked out of the hotel. And I think we wanted to go to the beach or to the supermarket. Anyways, we were walking down towards the beach, and there was this one person shouting from his restaurant, "Hey, come here! And we looked at each other like, oh, what's going on here? Because we didn't know the guy, obviously, working in the restaurant. So we went there, and he said, tonight it's Easter. It's not Christian Easter. It's the
Greek Easter.
Greek Protestant, I think it's called. Protestant. Anyways, their Easter, so it was at a different date. That's why we didn't know. And he said, and every time for Easter, we invite as many people as possible to have dinner together. So I see you are not locals, and we've been watching you guys walk past a few times over the last few days. So if you want, you are invited to come eat dinner with us tonight. And we were like, oh, that's pretty nice. I mean, we were planning on doing dance rehearsals, but going for dinner sounds pretty nice. So we finished up everything in the hotel. Went there in the evening. And they roasted this whole lamb, like there was a whole lamb ready, and we could like cut our own piece of meat off of it. And I think we had like 8 different courses of the most amazing food you will ever get, and it's for free just because people wanted to be nice to you. And this is something these are like experiences I really missed right now, obviously because of Corona. But even if there's no Corona, it's something which would never happen here in Belgium. Nobody's gonna invite you for dinner just because they want to make your day. Yeah. And that's right. That's really something I try to bring more into my surroundings. Of course, not into this extent, but I try to remind myself to share these kind of experiences with people who might not go to a different country, and just give them this kind of experience here as well, because if you are positive to your surroundings, also to people you don't know, they will be positive in their reactions, because it's hard to get mad at someone who's being nice to you or who's offering you something. So I think it's
nice,
important.
Yeah, that's right. That was also one of the reasons why I never went back to a destination, because I always said to myself, I want to see as many destinations as possible. So I always try to see something new. And I think it's also not dangerous, difficult to go back to a destination, because you always compare the destination to the year. Yeah, the expectations you had from the year before. And then it's really difficult to reach the expectations, because you have different people around you and everything will be different. So I always thought, okay, I want to go somewhere else. I want to see something new. And in the end, it's also funny, because you are able to do this, how you say it, you are allowed to give a wish for 3 destinations where you want to go for summer or for winter.
Yeah. At the end of the season, you can.
At the end of the season, exactly.
Send your wish list.
Yeah, I never got one wish. Never.
Really?
Always, really. Always
not even one of the 3, but not a completely different one.
Right. I always got in the first run. I got told, you will go there, and then
they changed
close before the start. Yeah, they said Jana, to be fair, we need somebody in whatever Egypt. Would you be able to go there? And I was like, yeah, okay, let's go there. So I never got one wish, but in the end, it was the best that could happen to me, because I saw destinations I would never had on my list, like Egypt, Turkey. I was in Tunisia. So, and also there, I think in the end, it's not about the destination. It's about the people who work with you, your team and the hotel team and everything, what is making a perfect season. So, be open-minded.
Yeah. And go for it.
Go for it. Exactly, go for it. And don't say no before you know the destination. That's also a big mistake, because how you can say, as an example, I don't like Egypt, if you never worked in Egypt. Then you cannot say I don't like it. I think you always need to try it. And when you tried it and you say, okay, it's not mine, okay, fair enough, but try it.
Yeah, I think you are right. No, I actually did the same thing. I also never went to a destination twice. Purposefully. I also chose not to do it, because I was afraid that I would have a certain expectation. I really liked the fact that you actually, when I think about it, I think I never even Googled the hotel I was going to be working in. I think I just went there. I didn't want to see any pictures. I didn't want to see anything. Okay, maybe I looked roughly where it was on the map or something, if it was Spain, whereabouts in Spain it would be. But I think that's the most I ever Googled, and then I just took the plane, went there, and then was like, oh, okay, this is pretty nice. I don't know, I don't like being disappointed. I prefer not to know something and then just accept the fact that it's not a good outcome, rather than having expectations and then not meeting them.
Yeah, and also, sometimes I also did all the recruiting and castings in winter for 2 winters. And it's so funny, because so many people who were doing the casting or told me, I want to go to a 5-star hotel. Okay, that's amazing. But why a 5-star hotel should be better than a 3-star hotel? In the end,
it's a good topic, actually.
Yeah, in the end, it is about the hotel staff, if they support entertainment or not, if you have good guests or if you don't have good guests, about the location of the hotel. Because if I have a 5-star hotel in the middle of a country where no beach at all is, it's also not nice. And about the team. So I think you can even not go, and also...
I love the fact that you bring this up, because it's something I never really thought about myself. It is something I've heard a lot, I want to work in this type of hotel, or this type of hotel. Where actually, I think my favorites or my better seasons were in the 3-star in the 3-star hotels, because the atmosphere is so different when you are talking to a guest in a 3-star hotel than in a 5-star hotel, because the people who go to a 3-star hotel obviously or most likely they had to work the entire year to be able to come there for 1 or 2 weeks, the 1 or 2 weeks that they are there. So once they arrive in the destination, they they enjoy it. Like they're like a sponge. They let it soak in, like every part of the experience. They wanna go through it completely, because they know when they go back they're gonna have to work another year. Sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 3 years. They go to a hotel every 3 years or something like this. And I felt, in my experience at least, the appreciation in from a 5-star guest was not as maybe not as genuine as one from a 3-star guest overall. Of course, there are exceptions and everybody's different, but when we're talking like overall, that's why I really enjoyed working in 3 stars or like 3.5 star kind of hotels.
Yeah, definitely. And also some of the guests were so cute when they, like you said, they saved their money and they were so happy when they had their first holiday. Some of them never saw a palm tree and they were so thankful and just enjoyed everything. So yeah, that was really cute.
That's a really nice experience. And if you can see it, like you get happier. Like your day is amazing if you see somebody see a palm tree for the first time, or like, I don't know, sometimes they never went to a beach before. They come from a country where there are no beaches or there are no seas, and then they've seen the sea and they're like, oh my God, it's amazing. And like the water is salt. And then, I don't know, it's such a beautiful thing to, it really makes your day or like your week. And every time you see this person again, while they're there for the holiday, you're just happy for them. Like
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
And these are also the people you enjoy really doing guest contact, speaking with them, chatting with them, asking them, how was your day? Did you enjoy it? How was your dinner and everything? So, yeah, that's really cool.
Jana?
Yes.
Actually, we are slowly already ending towards the end of the podcast. We've been talking like it's crazy. Time passes so quickly. But there's a few questions I ask to every guest on the show.
Okay.
And one of the questions is, do you have any advice to people who are interested to starting to work within this within the entertainment industry? What would you say to a person who's never done it before? Maybe he or she is doubting if they should do it, or maybe they're a little bit scared, or can also be something you would have liked to have known before you started. What would you say to this kind of person?
You know what I would say? Just do it. Basically, I think it's one of the best experiences. Don't doubt, just do it, because you will never know if it is the right job if you never tried it, basically. And don't put yourself under too much pressure, because like I said already before, every person needs minimum 2 or 3 weeks to get into something new. So give yourself the 2 or 3 weeks and don't resign after 1 or 2 days, because that's definitely the wrong decision. I think it's one of the best jobs in the world. I met so many nice people. I made so many nice experiences. I met my best friends over there and I grew so much. So just do it. Try it, and don't think too much, let's say it like this, about your future or what you should study, because it is so difficult with 18 to say, okay, this is a job I want to do my whole life. I think it's not even possible to make this decision so early, and you have so much time, and anyway you need to work so many years till you will go to your pension or whatever. So do it.
Do you think you know it now? Do you think what was for you in the future? Like, where do you want to work towards? Do you have like a new goal?
You know, I always thought with 30, I'm so adult and I will know everything and I will be married and I will have whatever children. And still, sometimes I'm feeling like I'm 18. And it's good because I still made new experiences and I try some new things out. And I'm happy that I did it. So.
Yeah, I think that's some really, really good advice, and I hope somebody takes away something from it. Actually, another question I always ask, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyways, is imagine we're back in 2013 and they ask you in the head office from TUI Germany if you want to go and do this boot camp. Would you go on the boot camp again? Would you do it again?
Definitely, I would do it. And even if there were some really, really busy days, I don't want to miss a minute or a second. So, I would.
No, I totally understand. Then, Jana, Thank you. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you joining me for the 8th episode already of Ciao Ciao Bye Bye. Please
Thank
tell
you
the
for
listeners.
inviting me.
Well, you're welcome. Please tell the listeners what they can expect from you and where maybe they can find you on social media or something like this.
Yeah, I think many people from my old job life follow me already, so you can find me on social media and Instagram. It's my normal name, jana.ga. And then Facebook, it's also jana.ga. And I think they are the most important channels from my side. So if you want to follow me, follow me.
Yeah, we'll put them in the links down below as well. So if you want to go check out Jana, what she's up to, feel free to have a look at the description. Then finally, Jana, I have one more question, the final burning question for you, and this is: who would you like to hear me joining for an episode of Ciao Ciao Bye Bye? Who would you like to see on the show?
To be fair, I thought already about this question.
Oh.
And there were some people
prepared.
coming to my not I came prepared, but I thought like, okay, who would be funny on this episode? So I was thinking about Charlie. To be fair, because he also had 2 seasons as entertainment manager now, and many funny stories to tell.
Oh yeah, and he's a good storyteller.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe Alina. Because she's studying now, and maybe she is really, really happy to speak a little bit about the nice and funny days before studying.
Yeah, from a different life before studying.
Exactly. Maybe also Ivo, because I think Ivo is one of our longest EDTMs, and I think he really knows how the time was looking.
He's an entertainment OG.
Exactly, how entertainment. I mean, I think he was working in the kids club when I was in the age for the kids club. So.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I think this would be
really
the 3
cool.
persons that came into my mind. Though.
Awesome. Then really, it's really good. I agree. I can really see why you picked them, and I think they would add value in an episode. Then. Jana, thank you one more time. There's only one more thing to say. Maybe you've heard the sentence before, and it's of course, and as always, ciao ciao, bye bye.
Bye. See you.
I hope you enjoyed listening to the 8th episode. I would like to thank our guest Jana for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or whatever platform you use. I'd be grateful if you could leave us a review and share it. If you have any thoughts on today's episode or topics you would like me to further touch on, email me at info@darislow.com. Thanks again. See you next week. And as always, ciao ciao. Bye bye.